Philco 17er vintage portable black and white TV. I've been trying to get my hands on one of these to do an analysis / resurrection video on for quite some time, but they're actually sort of hard to find. I think they were once everywhere, but for one thing, they share a lot of the same circuits and components with the Philco Predicta, which is I would call one of the hottest vintage televisions because of the way it looks. And I often say that these are all style and no quality. So this shares the same CRT and the same poor, crappy circuit design and poor quality components. And yeah, I want to do a resurrection on this and see what it takes and kind of give everybody an idea. Oftentimes, the poorest quality products tend to develop the strongest cult following as they age. And I'm sure you can think of several products that were considered absolute bottom-of-the-line junk when they came out, and now have huge fanboy groups, and a lot of cars come to mind. So it's in poor condition, but that's okay. I want to try and resurrect it. We'll try and get a picture on it in this video. If the couplets need to be rebuilt, we'll do that. First, we'll start by checking the CRT, which is a low voltage filament. I'll cover that. I need to find a schematic for this. What in the world is this? I know this thing is just going to continually piss me off through this whole video. It's going to just be okay, what's going on here? Okay, that says UHF and it goes to this pipe. That's a pipe, right? It's like a vacuum hose. Let's see, do we have a model number on this? So it looks like that vacuum hose went to this diaphragm, which, did this actually like change the channel? It sure looks like it does. What kind of gimmicky ass thing is that? So it's like a sewing machine deal where you push the pedal and it forces air, and the air forces it to switch the channel. Is that like an old remote control? I mean, I guess it's kind of cool, but yeah, it's gimmicky Philco. I mean, this kind of thing is something you'd see under the dash of a car, not in a TV. But I guess maybe when this was made. Anyway, so if you're not familiar with the Philco or the 17er, they used really cheap components. And yes, they used a heater with a 2.68 volt. They used a CRT with a 2.68 volt heater. So if you just connect this and put 6 volts onto it, it goes pop. And they also used these couplets, or couplets, or couplet, or whatever you call them. What these are is they're little networks of resistors and capacitors, and they are junk, and they drift really bad. And so you rebuild these. In fact, it looks like somebody may have rebuilt one already in here. See this? Doesn't even look like, yeah, the other problem is the boards are not removable. The boards are like soldered in place. So this is a old repair right here, replacement of one of these couplets. You can see what they did. They just chopped it off the top and put regular components in place of it. Now the serious restoration guys like Bob Anderson, I think he's probably the king of doing Philco and doing Philco right. This actually looks like it's had a lot of work done on it. This, wow, that doesn't even look, the solders feel like they failed in that. I don't think that's, wow, that tube wasn't even in. So here's another one here. But that looks replaced. This has had a lot of work done on it. And I wonder if this being not plugged in is the only thing that is wrong with this thing. It is a series string set, of course, so it won't do anything if one of the tubes is out. It looks like it's got the original Philco damper and horizontal output. Let's get a CRT tester on it. Maybe this is not going to be as bad as I thought. But yes, very difficult to work on. It's got these black beauty capacitors in it that are junk. Yeah, I'm quite fascinated with this old school rebuild of one of the couplets. That's probably the sink. Let's get some light on this situation. I was looking forward to rebuilding one of these like this in this video, just as a resurrection. I mean, the set's in not very good shape. The case is cracked. Asbestos flavored sand resistor. Old electrolytics that are probably dried out. Look like diodes. Those are rectifiers stuck in the fuse holders. More of that Philco quality. I've also seen several times where people posted questions, how do I adjust the vertical size and linearity on my Predicta or my 17er? I can't find the pots. Well, they hid them. They're down here. You have to go through like this to get to them. So yeah, another brilliant cost-cutting measure. Alright, 2.68 volts, and yeah, you better make sure. So I imagine that would be that red line right there. Can't quite get to it. Let me go up to the next, let me go up to 3 here. Oh, that's a little bit too high. Okay. Well, on the 2 volt scale with this all the way up is too low. On the 3 volt scale with this all the way down is too high. So I guess we just kind of pick our poison and go right there. Oh, look at this. Look at, we got cut off. Where are my things starting to fall apart on me? My Supermac thing fell off, and now I notice my red color thing is gone. So we got cut off, so let's bring it to here. This is a strong tube. This tube is worth a lot more as a tube than it is in this junk set, because this tube would go into someone's Predicta. Ooh, I found it. Happy days are here again. The time is right for making friends. I think since I got the glue out to glue that knob thing back together, I'm gonna tack this sticker back on right here. So, because this is a good CRT, we don't want anyone cooking this in the future with the wrong voltage. Is that the date code 5930? Is this a 1959 Philco 17er? '17er Mark III, or 17er 3. Let's give it some power and see what happens. Okay, we've got a 68. I think this is a 150, or it's a three-way, but I think it runs as either 100, I don't know, in this socket. And I think this is a 200. I like using the bulbs better than a Variac, especially for video, because it gives kind of a good visual representation of the power draw of the unit. So we get nothing. I could find where Philco hid the power switch. It looks like this. So there we go. So what we'll do is we'll just start off with a lower wattage bulb. You see how it's getting dimmer. We'll just let it sit for a while. What I might do is I might pop the plate cap off of this, which wants to break. So I want to be careful with that. What I'll do is I'll stick a screwdriver in here and do it like this so I don't pull the cap off the tube. Oh, by the way, whenever you do this, you always want to make sure that the power is on, just so you can be in flavor country. Yeah, this would probably go better with two hands. So yeah, I do this just to, if the oscillator doesn't start or if something's wrong, you tend to save the tube. And you can see when I connect it, it doesn't make any difference because we're not even at a high enough voltage for the TV to start working. So I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes, and if there's any capacitor reformage or whatever, it's taking place right now, and we'll be back. Okay, it's been about, I don't know, 10 minutes. And I'm going to go up to the next size bulb. This still, when I connect this, yeah, maybe it is getting a little bit brighter. Just a little bit. I'm questioning the condition of this tube because see how faded the getter is? This thing is definitely not virgin. For some reason, I have a feeling that Philco hid the main filter can back behind this, or back behind this. But I want to try an experiment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to yank one of the tubes. So that gives us a good idea that all of the power draw is the filaments. So that's a good thing, because if the light had stayed on with the filament chain broken, we would think, well, filter capacitors or something is drawing a bunch of power. Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. See when I connect the cap? See how it gets brighter? Connected, disconnected. So we're starting to get up to where the filaments are conducting, getting hot enough to where the filament. Try that again. We're starting to get up to the point where the filaments are hot enough that the tube starts conducting. And I can hear the vertical buzzing, so let's connect this. See what happens. No, there's still too much drop across that light bulb. I'm going to go to the bigger bulb. Okay, I'm on the bigger bulb. Ooh! Philco-tastic! There we go. Look at that. Actually, kind of sounds like there's some activity here. It's interesting. Why, when you turn it to that channel, does the power get cut off? Oh, it must have... You must be able to turn it off with the remote control. So you click it. Yeah, I guess you have this 30-foot hose run to your couch with this foot pedal, and you stomp on the foot pedal, and it clicks it, and it shuts... You can actually shut the TV off or turn it on. How cool. How innovative and cutting edge. Oh. K-Jazz. Okay, that's off right there. You know, this has got to be the wrong knob, because there's no way. So if that's off, do we assume that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Do we assume that's 6? There's mumble rap coming in on this TV. There's channel 6. Channel 6 analog. Let me get a pair of rabbit ears. I love how the cheap-ass cabinet buzzes and rattles to the sound. That's awesome. Oh crap. Hey, it's working good. I'm going to spray these controls and then we'll come back to this evening and dial it in. I don't know if this is what these holes are for, but we're going to hose the living hell out of this thing and just hope it Clinko twerculates on the inside. And boy, I'm getting a nice buzz off of this stuff. It says it won't harm plastic. I think it's harming my brain cells though. I turned it over upside down and shook it and the other knob fell out. So I've got a complete set of knobs now. I've cleaned all these controls. My main point in wanting to video one of these or have one of these to do an analysis on was, you know, to talk about the kind of crappy construction and the common pattern problems with these. But it looks like this has had a lot of those problems fixed already. The schematic for what's inside this thing is in the SAMs. So you could just rebuild these. In fact, I think there was a guy who was like building drop-in replacements for them for the Predictas. I'm sure this is a little bit different than the Predicta. But all these parts, all these resistors drift and go bad in these things. So the tacky solution is to just fix it like it was fixed back here. The more competent solution is to rebuild the thing on a piece of board and then fit it in, and the OCD solution is to build it on a piece of board and then pot it in colored epoxy so it looks like this. And there are guys out there that are doing the really awesome OCD rebuilds of these boards. They should start doing it and selling them because there probably is a little bit of demand for those for the Predicta. If I could just buy this thing and drop it in, it would be a hell of a lot easier than trying to rebuild it myself. Time-wise, I mean, you always got to look at the amount of time it takes you to do something, right? So yeah, this needs some more capacitors changed. Like this one should go. The electrolytic should probably go. All these black beauties should go. But since this is just a resurrection, and the collector that loaned this to me to do this video on and said it was just pretty much a part set for his Predicta, he's going to be very happy that he's got a good CRT waiting for his Predicta. And we had a little bit of fun with this turd. Philco 17er, the night test. Spark this thing up right now and see how she smokes. I'm starting on channel 6, Radio Guadalupe TV, low power analog. And keep in mind that by the time this video comes out, today is May 25th, that okay, let's do this. Boy, that's bright, but we expected bright from this very, very good condition CRT. So if that's off, that should be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Sus mensajes a través del chat de YouTube, a través de aplicaciones de Guadalupe Radio, que nos ayudan a crecer, a ser mejores padres, mejores esposos, mejores hijos, profesionistas, hombres, mujeres y especialmente mejores católicos.
Wow, look at that. That is actually a really good freaking picture for having nothing done. Nothing, I didn't do anything to it. No capacitors were changed. I'm going to try and rotate the yoke a little bit, which I doesn't seem that I can, so I'm not. Okay, I'm on the generator, so that should be 6, 5, 4, 3. Right there, right? That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. The top might be overextended a little bit. What I might do is I might get my paint and mark that, because that knob is not the right knob. But that's pretty damn good. That's pretty good. Now, this thing, we're watching it die right here. It's dying. A filter capacitor is dying. You are watching a filter capacitor die. It's probably going to vent. You're watching a filter capacitor die. It's getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. This probably uses a filter doubler circuit, and that's what's happening. The B plus is dropping because the filter is melting down. I don't smell anything yet. So oh yes, I do smell something. I smell venting filter capacitor. Got to be careful because these things will blow up like bombs and pop the picture tube. In fact, I think I'm going to abort on this situation here. So I turned it off and right back on, and it looks good. See that twerking? That's the 60 cycle hum interfering with it. I'm going to leave it off for a minute, let it cool off. I bet if I could touch the filter, I bet it's burning hot. I was thinking I'll replace the filter capacitor. Yeah, that's easy. And then I remembered that this thing is a part set for a collector who has some predictas that has absolutely no use for this set. So I left it off for a while, and you can see that capacitor is probably reformed, and it looks good now. But there's still some filter hum in it. If you look at the lines, it's twerking back and forth. It's kind of got that little groove going on.
Her sweater's on to his, and I've got to hurry.
Just trying to score some coke.
Ever existed. Fiber hold spray, travel size fibers and travel tote free. An $80 value for just $39.99. Plus free shipping. Guaranteed full looking hair instantly. Or get your money back. You can get Topic in stores, but this TV offer is only available by going to gettopic.com.
See, that one's horizontal hold.
Being denied for a home loan can be a terrible surprise. If that's happened to you, have hope. And let credit repair work with
I'm
you
going
to
down
fix
through
it.
there we go.
The credit repair experts have helped tens of thousands of past members get inaccurate items removed from their credit reports. Call Credit Repair today for your free credit evaluation and recommended credit solutions.
Call 800-604-5662.
Whoa, it tastes just like watermelon. Whoa, it tastes just like watermelon. 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 Watermelon.
Where's our... I think it's 14 we want.
Phát ngôn viên Bộ Ngoại giao Trung Cộng Zhao Lijian.
Tôi có gì đâu. Có ai nói vậy không? Mong quý vị ủng hộ cái 10% của tôi của chúng ta có đủ thêm cái du lịch để mà.
What we need is that... we need that distorted...
Đó là sao ghi trực tiếp.
Dạ vâng, Ngọc Hiền chào quý vị đến với chương trình Vui đời mua sắm
của QT Golden Home Shopping được phát sóng trên làn sóng 14.7 Việt USA TV.
Litecoin American TV, multimedia idzie.
Yeah, this. God, I love that rattling cabinet. And I love how the video's out of sync with the audio.
Cái giá cho nó đặc biệt, có lẽ rằng là có nhiều.
Thôi anh đứng đi, rồi bây giờ chúng ta phải dành thử thách cho các bé thôi đúng không?
Nhường sân khấu lại cho con để giúp cô hai chữ bình an đi. Em nghĩ là nếu mà ở một cái khoảng không gian nó rộng như này thì nó cũng sẽ dễ cho bé, nên em muốn là làm cái gì đấy khó hơn một xíu đi ha.
Tức là mình sẽ cho bé di chuyển vượt qua những chướng ngại vật và vẫn tấn bóng.
Đúng rồi.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Bóng của mình để vượt qua những chướng ngại vật trên sân khấu.
I hope you. Oh, let's get the money shot. What the hell? I hope you enjoyed the look at the Philco 17er. Needless consumption of electrons you're looking at there. And how about a little side repair video on this TMC weed whacker? The muffler is plugged, and that's a common problem on these two-cycle engines. The symptom is lack of power, won't really accelerate, just kind of no power because the muffler's plugged. They get plugged with oil. There's a stupid spark arrestor screen in there, and there's a couple different ways to do it. Of course, replace the muffler, or you can burn it out with a torch. Let's get this apart and see what we can do. I'd love to delete the spark arrestor screen. I don't live in an area where sparks need to be arrested. Okay, here's the muffler. Looks easy enough as long as the screws don't break off. These had a lot of Loctite on them, which made them very difficult to come out. I guess that's a good thing with something that vibrates. And yeah, I can't even blow through this. You can see the wetness from my moist lips on the muffler. And I think that screen is right here at the very end, because it looks like it's plugged right here. I'm going to try and... Boy, would that be simple. I didn't even need to take it apart. But yeah, I can't even blow through it. It's so clogged. And yes, boy, do I feel stupid. Well, I didn't know, and I don't have the owner's manual. So there's the spark arrestor screen. Let's see if I could blow through it now. Yeah, it's wide open now. Well, didn't need to go through all that. What a waste of time. I think the best way to clean this is just to take a propane torch and burn it clean. Although I think most reasonable people would just throw it in the trash. Wonder how old this is. Have to taste it and find out. Oil is oil, right? I guess this is how I plug my muffler up. I don't actually do measurements. I just kind of put it in there because I don't use that that much. Is that about 50 to 1? Put a little bit more in there to make the neighbors happy. Make sure there's an environmental plume over this place. Yeah, I think I went a little bit rich on the oil, but I'd rather be rich than lean on the oil, especially with the spark arrestor out of it. Whatever.